strikeout number 597, the fifth most in Major League Baseball for the Rangers.
Brian Rua getting a start in left field tonight. This is his 9th start of the season. Batting just 189. He has 3 career home runs. He hit 2 last year and has the solo home run this year. Burley throws the changeup and gets the call from Angel Hernandez.
That's what you will get from Burley. In and out, up and down. Right-handed batter, cutters in, changeups away. And there's another changeup for another strikeout.
1 strikeout looking, 1 strikeout swinging.
It just keeps getting better, I think, for Mark Burley. That earned run average, you can see what he has done. In April, May, it was up around 5, but this month of June is just outstanding. A 155 earned run average in the month of June, the 5th best in Major League Baseball.
Prince Fielder fouls off the first pitch. He and Burley have faced each other just 4 times. Of course, Fielder spent the majority of his career in Milwaukee with the Brewers. There's a high, deep drive to right. Bautista looking up. Fielder has put the Rangers out in front. Home run number 300 for Prince Fielder. His 12th of the season. What a career he has had. Healthy again and swinging the bat for the Texas Rangers.
This is game number 21 against the Blue Jays. That's just his 5th home run against Toronto. Looked like it was inside, but he was able to get the extension, stayed inside that ball, and he's so strong. He doesn't have to hit the ball squarely to knock it out. He can miss-hit a ball and still knock it into the bleachers for a home run. Plenty of distance as he gets the Rangers their first run of the night.
He becomes the 138th player to hit 300 or more home runs. And you can see the teammates very happy for Fielder. There's a line drive to right. Bautista is over, makes the catch. So Prince Fielder, whose father played for the Blue Jays early in his career, took Mark Burley deep with 2 outs. Texas leads it 1-0. Comes in to talk to him as well, and you bet they're talking about the Prince Fielder home run. And remember, Burley never shakes off his catcher, so Martin wanted to check in with him. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Blue Jays. They're down 1-0. Jose Reyes, Josh Donaldson, and Jose Bautista in the 3rd spot. And Bautista has hit well against the Texas Rangers. This will be his 48th career game against the Rangers. He has 8 homers and 27 RBIs, and then down in the number 9 spot. Good to see Devin Travis back in the lineup. Batting 9th this season, he's hit .361 with 2 homers and 10 RBIs.
It's like having 2 leadoff batters for the Blue Jays. 24-year-old Nick Martinez makes the start. This is his 15th of the season. He's working on extended 5 days of rest and try and bounce back after his first road loss in 7 starts. He has pitched well for the Texas Rangers. allowing more than 3 earned runs just one time this season in his 14 starts. This is his second career start versus the Blue Jays.
First ever here at Rogers Center. Boy, he has pitched well on the road. He's had a great season on the road, pitching to a 169 earned run average. Reyes batting .277 in his 44 games this season. 2 balls and no strikes. Now it's 3-0. Josh Donaldson will be next. How about that? A 4-pitch walk after the Rangers put Nick Martinez up 1-0. Take a look at the defense for the Rangers in the outfield. Ryan Rua is in left field. Elvis Martin is in center. Shin-Soo Choo is in right. On the infield, Adrian Beltre, the Gold Glover, is at third base. Elvis Andrus and Rougned Odor is at second. Mitch Moreland, a terrific defender, at first. Robinson Chirino set catcher's position tonight.
And there is the 4-time Gold Glover, and he joins Buddy Bell as the only winners of a Gold Glove at third base for this Texas Rangers organization. He is an excellent defender.
This is Josh Donaldson. That's 5 straight balls thrown by Nick Martinez. Donaldson fouls it into the seats.
No, normally I'd say, well, do you take a strike here? But not with this offense. Not the way they swing the bat. You've got Nick Martinez, a sinker slider type of pitcher. He throws 5 straight balls. First fastball that he throws for a strike, anybody can leave in this lineup.
Those are his numbers from his only other start against the Blue Jays last year. Donaldson pulls it foul. A lot of Blue Jays were out hitting early today after the off day yesterday. They came out, hit some off the breaking ball machine, got a little extra batting practice. Everybody got back into the swing of things early on.
Yeah, you take a day off, you're away from the ballpark, you will come back, you want to get that timing back. So they hit off the machine. Now they got a hit off of Nick Martinez.
Reyes is 10 for 11 in stolen bases this season. Line drive to center field. That's going to get down in front of Martin, and Reyes will stop at second base. Leonis Martin throws very well. He has 8 outfield assists, and Reyes didn't want to chance it.
Yeah, the ball was just hit too hard by Josh Donaldson, right on a rope to Martin. You mentioned he's a good fielder with a good arm. That's a breaking ball that hangs over there. And Josh Donaldson doesn't miss too many of those. Hammers at the center field. You can see Reyes, he's not going to test that arm.
That was a good example of what we mean by hanging breaking ball. It literally was just hanging out over the plate for Donaldson to hit. So the first 2 reach against Nick Martinez. Now Jose Bautista. He's only 0 for 2 against Martinez. Obviously just the previous start last season. Off the plate.
You'll see a lot of that from Martinez. He likes to pitch inside. Sinkers on the inside part of the plate. Sinker, slider, top. Will pitch inside. Change up at times and a curveball. Better hit your spots against the Blue Jays the way they can hit. And I'll tell you, we were watching batting practice today, sitting down on the field today, and the ball was absolutely flying. Jet stream today.
Blue Jays love to hit in this ballpark. Bautista with a 2-0 count. Long deep drive to left. Is it fair? Off the 4th deck, but foul. That's how you swing at a 2-0 pitch.
Yeah. It looked like a sinker that was just charging on the inside part of the plate. Jose just a little bit too quick. You either take that one or you hit it like that, foul.
Angel Hernandez called Bautista for the swing, and Jose asked Hernandez, why don't you check with the first base umpire? But Hernandez had his mind made up. Breaking ball. Full count. Well, Martinez off to a rough start in the first. The Blue Jays are making him work. They're really patient at the plate. Edwin Encarnación will be next.
You do it all the time. If you don't take your A game to that mound in the first inning, you can find yourself falling behind very quickly with this offense.
Martinez is set. Before he delivers to Bautista, he'll chase Reyes back.
I'd be really surprised if they started the runners here. No sense in doing that. Jose doesn't hit a lot of ground balls. You start the runners and he hits a line drive and they're going to be out of the inning. So hold your ground right here and let Bautista swing away.
Bases are loaded. Second walk in the inning.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for tonight's starter for the Texas Rangers, Nick Martinez. Again, he's 24 years old. And what does he throw? The fastball, he throws it just over 60% of the time. It's more of a sinker type, just 89 miles an hour. There's the slider. He'll throw that in there and throw the changeup 10% of the time and curveball 7% of the time. When he's on, he'll get his share of ground ball outs. He uses all four of those pitches. Throws his off-speed pitch about equally depending on what is working on any given day. And right now, he is having trouble locating his sinker.
Now he has created a big problem for himself here in the first. Edwin Encarnación. Well, you're right about it. They're working him out over the plate, making sure that they don't swing at that borderline pitch inside.
Yeah, don't get too anxious. Right now with runners in scoring position, make him come to you. And if he doesn't, just take your walk, trot down to first base.
Edwin is still dealing with that shoulder issue. He had a cortisone shot about 2 weeks ago. 6 career grand slams. He's hit over 300 with the bases loaded. Deep drive to center. Martin looking up. Grand slam home run. Number 7 for his career.
If you examine that at bat that we just saw from Edwin Encarnación, you saw him take strike one, fastball right down the middle of the plate with runners on base. Told you that he might have been looking for something off speed. Anytime a hitter takes a fastball right there for strike one, you can tell he's sitting on a breaking ball. Well, Nick Martinez did him a favor by throwing him a breaking ball on the next pitch, and he crushed that ball to center field.
What an offense. Bouncing ball. Chris Colabello hits a 2-hopper to Beltre at third. That's the first out of the inning.
Watch Edwin Encarnación sit on the breaking ball, get it, stay back, and then extend through that ball. He can knock the ball out of any part of the ballpark. He doesn't have to pull it to hit a home run. 4 quick RBIs for Encarnación.
Jeff Bannister, the manager, after watching Prince Fielder give them an early lead, sees his pitcher return the favor 4 times over.
Well, you said it. He got himself into trouble by walking a couple batters. And you do that against a good offense, you're going to pay for it. He walked Reyes on 4 pitches to start off the inning.
You can see Encarnación got his pitch. Yeah, Reyes did a great job. Nothing close. He took the walk, and then Bautista walked to load the bases, setting the table for Encarnación.
You can see Edwin talking about breaking ball. That was a breaking ball that I hit. I thought he would throw me a breaking ball, and he got it. It's funny when hitters know what to look for and they get it. They hit it hard. That ball over the 400 sign in center field.
Well, and Bautista and Encarnación really haven't hit full stride with the bats yet. But now they're inching up to where they should be. This is a ground ball. Elvis Andrus has tremendous range, and he throws out Martin. That grand slam that Martinez gave up, his first career grand slam allowed. It was career grand slam number 7 for Edwin. That's the way you come back after an off day.
Well, that's how you come back after the first inning, giving up a run in the first inning, right?
This is Ezequiel Carrera, the left fielder. Takes the first pitch strike. You know, it's interesting, too, with the 2 walks this inning, Angel Hernandez has a very liberal strike zone.
Yeah, there have been a couple of pitchers that looked like they were off the plate. And they called it first strike.
0-2. He gets that outside sinker ball and stays alive with the foul.
With Mark Burley on the mound tonight for the Blue Jays, John Gibbons wanted a little bit more defense in the outfield. Mark's an extreme fly ball type of pitcher, so Carrera will get the start at left field tonight. Been swinging a pretty decent bat for the Blue Jays.
He's off that breaking ball. What he has done is he's capitalized on limited at bats. He has 16 ribbies. And when you think about it, he's an extra player, role player.
And not a power guy. He's only got the 1 home run, 16 RBIs.
This time he strikes out. So after allowing the first 3 to reach and set the table, Edwin Encarnación stepped to the plate and goes deep to center. His 7th career grand slam, his 15th home run of the season, and the Blue Jays erase an early deficit. Connor McDavid goes number 1 to Edmonton. And that's all going on Sportsnet, the NHL draft. And we'll keep you up to date as the draft continues throughout the night. This is Mitch Moreland, the first baseman. Moreland's off to a good start to his season. Batting .302 with 9 home runs.
He's having a very good year, very good on-base percentage. The power numbers for Moreland. Been dealing with some leg problems a little bit lately.
He's playing every day at first base now, and that has helped him a lot. He has bounced around, played some first, played in the outfield with DH from time to time, but he had his best season in 2013 when he played first base, played 146 games at first. That's when he had a career high in home runs, hit 23. This is a high pop-up to Devin Travis, the second baseman. A wind blowing it back toward the mound. He makes the catch. 1 out.
This Sunday, it is White Panel Hat Day as the Blue Jays give out those great retro hats presented by Jack Links. The first 20,000 fans will receive one of those white panel hats. Go to BlueJays.com for tickets. Buck.
Thank you very much, Barry. It should be a great afternoon here at Rogers Center, and you'll get one of those hats if you're among the first 20,000 fans who come into Rogers Center. This is the shortstop, Elvis Andrus. Andrus now in his 7th season with the Rangers. He came up as a 20-year-old in 2009. He was signed originally by Atlanta out of Venezuela. And then 2.5 years into his minor league career, he was part of a huge trade between the Rangers and the Atlanta Braves. Mark Teixeira and Ron Mayhew went to Atlanta. And Texas got a boatload of young players and some good prospects. Andrus was in A-ball at the time. He was barely on anybody's radar, but the great Mel Didier, the scout at the time for Texas, identified he and Neftali Feliz as 2 youngsters they wanted to acquire.
Well, he's got an eye for talent. He knows a little something about this game. He's been in it long enough, and he got some all-stars for the Texas Rangers in that trade.
They also got Matt Harrison and Jared Saltalamacchia in that trade. It was a 5-for-2 deal. Minor leaguer Bo Jones came along. But at the time of the trade, Elvis Andrus was batting .244 in A-ball. I mean, that's scouting right there. There's a foul into the seats.
Well, you also look at his age, take into consideration how old he is, where he's played. You know, is he going to grow into that body? Is he going to be a speed guy? Is he going to fielder? That's what scouts are paid for. If you have the good ones, you're going to be filling up your organization with great players.
Burley walks Elvis Andrus, and we mentioned Mark Burley. He's really been on a roll. You look at his last 4 starts, an outstanding ERA. Opponent's hitting just .224. He's averaged under a runner per inning, hits and walks per inning, 0.97, and a 4.7 strikeouts to walk ratio. He's been really throwing the ball well.
It all started with that 9-inning shutout at Washington.
There's a base hit down the left field line. Odor is headed for second. Carrera throws it back in. Andrus stops at third. A 1-out double for Odor, his 5th double of the season.
He can hit, and he likes that first pitch. He likes it out over the plate. He got some surprising pop for a second baseman. Shoots that ball the other way, and then after the walk to Andrus, that's something that Burley hasn't done this month, is walk players. He's only walked 4 the whole month of June. That was his 5th walk right there, just ahead of that double. Now he's got to pitch out of this trouble.
Center fielder Leonis Martin. So Martin blocks that breaking ball. Martin is from Cuba, from Villa Clara, Cuba. They signed him as a free agent. He's 27 years old now. This is his 5th season in the big leagues. He's a great defender in center field, and he's got some speed. 2013, he had 36 steals. He had 31 steals last year. And so far, he's 12 for 17.
12 already. He's got some power, too. And he's had good numbers against Burley in his career.
He is 5 for 7 against Burley, going head-to-head. Blue Jays lead it 4-1. Two balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball. Devin Travis with his first grounder makes an easy play of it. Elvis Andrus comes in to score. Martin picks up his 23rd RBI with the ground down.
Infield playing back. They will concede a run and get the out over at first base as Andrus crosses the plate. Tell you what, you got to save that run right here. You got to walk and a double, and now you got to save that run if you're Mark Buehrle.
Number 9 hitter is the catcher, Robinson Chirinos. O'Doer's at third. Pitch looked like it was off the plate, but Buehrle gets the call. Chirinos asked for time. Buehrle was in his normal pattern. He works quickly. You better be ready when you step in.
Chirinos has had a pretty good year. I'm talking production-wise. He's driven out a lot of runs for just 150 at-bats and a .213 batting average.
And look at what he's hit with runners in scoring position. It really doesn't add up, but he's got 6 homers and 25 ribbies.
25 RBIs. Excellent for a number 9 hitter.
Two and two now. Buehrle got the first out. Mitch Moreland to pop out. And Andrus walked. O'Doer doubled. There's strike 3. Boy, he found that inside corner that time. And Chirinos asking Hernandez if it was off the plate. But Angel Hernandez rings up Chirinos. Third strikeout for Mark Buehrle. He zeroes in on that inside corner.
View of their new show will premiere right after Blue Jays baseball on Sportsnet. Connect online 24/7 at Tim and Sid. And guys, the waiting is finally over. We will figure out what these two guys have got in store for us.
It will be the premiere show on July 1st after this ball game we'll have on Canada Day. Kevin Pillar, he has some experience against Nick Martinez. He's put together a pretty good plan.
He knows a little something about Martinez, knows that he wants to use that sinker like this one coming inside here. Says all I have to do is stay inside that ball, and that's exactly what he does. Says I don't want to go around that sinker with my bat. I want to stay inside it. Perfect.
14th double for Pillar. Devin Travis with his first at bat since the 16th of May. He has been in the minor leagues rehabbing, and I tell you what, he's a happy young man. He's back with the ball club.
He has been counting the minutes to this day right here where he can get back in the lineup for the Blue Jays.
Ground ball right to second. They're going to try to get Pillar. They call him safe. Another good slide by Kevin Pillar. Odor's got a strong arm. Beltre was waiting at third, but Pillar sensed they were coming his way, and Luis Rivera gave him the slide, and they went outside the tag. That's Steve Buechele, the bench coach. Watch him slide into the base, and he beat it.
Yep, high tag from Beltre. The ball looked like it handcuffed Adrian just a little bit. But Pillar, you can't take plays like that off. If you start jogging into third base, just assuming that the ground ball to the right side of the infield, they're going to go over to first base, you're going to get caught. He hustled all the way, and he got Devin Travis to first base.
How about Devin Travis's at bat in that situation? It calls for a ground ball on the right side, and he delivered. Fielder's choice for Travis back to the top of the order. Well, I tell you what, this lineup will wear you out. And now with Travis back in the ninth spot, top of the order is going to have a lot of base runners on.
And a lot of RBI opportunities. First for Reyes, and now Josh Donaldson, and on down the line.
Nick Martinez gave up a 4 spot in the bottom of the first. Just the second time this season he's allowed more than 4 earned runs in a game. Reyes hits a ground ball off Moreland's glove, and Reyes is safe at first. Pillar comes in to score, and the lineup just keeps coming at you.
You know, Buck, there is just no rest stops in this lineup. You play in the National League, you got that pitcher spot. You can pitch around the number 8 batter. But here with the Blue Jays, you got Devin Travis, 26 RBIs. He's missed the last 6 weeks or so. Batting number 9, you flip that lineup over one more time, and here comes the Blue Jays coming back once again. That's 5 runs now in the first 2 innings.
They're going to challenge the call. Ted Barrett is the crew chief. He's at second base tonight. Marcus Pacillo, the first base umpire, made the call. Here's the replay. Boy, he looks out. That's surprising, but it looked as though Martinez caught the ball before Reyes came down on the bag. This one might get overturned.
Yeah, from that angle right there, it looked like he was safe. But the one angle we have right here, when does it constitute being in the glove? That's what you have to take into consideration right there. When does it hit the leather?
That's the new language they implemented into this replay review, is when it touches the glove, it's thought to be caught. So Odor, the second baseman, made a nice play off the tipped ball off the glove of Mitch Moreland at first.
He stayed with it. He had a change of direction after the ball was off the glove of the first baseman, and then made a nice, strong, accurate throw to the pitcher. Reyes can run, and he was thinking base hit.
They appear to have the decision, and they call him out. So Reyes, he still gets an RBI. He loses the infield hit, and he's out 4-3 on the ground out, but he still gets the RBI. So Josh Donaldson will bat with a runner in scoring position, and boy, has he found a new home here at Rogers Center.
To his liking. Does he love it at Rogers Center? The ball flies here. And we all figured that he would have big numbers at the Rogers Center. Look at his ranks this season here batting at home.
25 extra base hits. That's the best in the American League at home. (5-2) Blue Jays. Reyes picks up his 24th RBI. Right on the outside corner. The one thing that I have recognized that I wasn't so sure about with Donaldson is what a plan he takes to the plate. Boy, he sticks to a game plan. He gets an idea in his mind about what he wants to hit, and he never deviates.
Yeah, he's not just up there swinging away. He's got a game plan. He's got a fixture on what he wants to do. Time that ball's inside right there, and it's hit in a great spot, I think, for the Blue Jays ever since they put him in that number 2 hole ahead of Bautista and behind Reyes. He's gotten pitches to hit, and he's hit them hard all over the ballpark.
Devin Travis is at second base. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a pickoff, and they throw it into center. Travis is coming around third. He'll be stopped right there as Martin got it back to Odor, the second baseman. That's the 3rd error committed by Nick Martinez. And now Travis is at third base with 1 out.
And the 61st error by the Texas Rangers, second to the bottom in fielding percentage in the American League. A time play between Rougned Odor, the second baseman. You see Travis, I don't think he was going anywhere. He was just trying to bounce off and time the pitcher, and it would have been close. But the ball goes out into center field. He's thinking about scoring. Luis Rivera holds him up, and now the infield has to come in to Donaldson.
Off the plate. Only the Oakland Athletics have committed more errors than the Texas Rangers. Oakland has made 72 errors in 75 games. That's why they went out and brought back Ron Washington, their former coach and the former manager of the Texas Rangers, back with the Oakland A's as an instructor. Full count to Donaldson. Bautista standing on deck. Flare into right field. That's going to drop. Chu won't have a play. Donaldson drives home Devin Travis from third. For Donaldson, that's RBI number 47. He's 2 for 2 already tonight.
And his reputation might have helped him get that RBI right there, because he can hit the ball to right field and drive it out of the ballpark into right center field. Chu, the right fielder, was playing him straight up and bunching him in the outfield and deep. So no chance to get Josh on the catch. Just dumps it right down the right field line for an RBI single.
Mike Maddox, the pitching coach in his 7th season with Texas, trying to help out his starter get sorted out here in the early stages of this game.
What do you tell him? You're facing a very tough team. Here's the swing from Donaldson. And that reputation, once again, that he can drive the ball to right field. He's got the outfielders playing a little bit deeper. So he will get that Texas leader to right field.
Devin Travis had a good at bat. He hit that ground ball to the second baseman to move Pilar from second to third. This is Jose Bautista. He takes the strike. Jose walked in the first inning. Scored on the grand slam home run by Encarnación. Beltre, second for 1. Odor back to first, double play. But the Blue Jays add 2 more runs here in the second. They take a 6-2 lead. Josh Donaldson with the RBI single. Reyes had an RBI ground out. Kevin Pilar got it all started with a leadoff double in the second. He had a game plan, and it pays off early.
tonight. It is a beautiful night here at the Rogers Center, but considering that his nickname is Bringer of Rain, why not wear the rain ponchos? And I've actually got one better here. I've got the Bringer of Rain umbrella, guys. I don't know if it's going to keep the rain off my head, but it's definitely keeping the sunflower seeds away from me. Don't forget, fans, there is still time to vote Josh Donaldson. We have a week to go before the ballots close. Vote Bringer of Rain Josh Donaldson in as a starter for this year's All-Star game. Buck?
Thank you, Barry. That was Sin-Shu Chu who grounded out to Reyes. They had him positioned perfectly up the middle. And there's the WestJet flight deck. And all of the customers out there, all the fans have their Josh Donaldson ponchos on. And they're going to continue to give those away right through the voting day when it stops on July 2nd.
Sin-Shu Chu was robbed of a base. It looked like that ball was deflected by Mark Burley. Just tipped his glove.
Burley with a ball and a strike on the left fielder, Ryan Rua. Ground ball. Reyes to his left. Gloves it. Getting plenty of time. 2 up, 2 down here in the third. We mentioned that Mark Burley leans heavily on his defense. He pitches to contact and always has. And there's going to be a lot of balls put in play.
Yeah, and he works quickly, keeps the infield on their toes so that they can make those types of plays. Also, the ball is up. If it is up, you'll get a lot of fly balls like the one he threw to Prince Fielder his first time up.
Prince homered with 2 outs in the first. It was his 300th career home run. Burley now with a 1-1 count.
Pretty obvious that they want to just stay away from Prince Fielder now after that home run. The defense is playing them to shift, but they're going to pitch him away.
Hits this one to left, but it's a routine fly ball. Carrera over near the line makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down for Burley in the third. Just 8 pitches for the lefty to set down the side in order.
The 2015 Honda Civic, Canada's best-selling car for 17 years in a row and the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Beautiful evening in Toronto. 22 degrees at the start of play. The roof is wide open, and the Blue Jays have enjoyed hitting early. 6 runs on 4 hits and a big blast coming off the bat of Edwin Encarnación. His 7th career grand slam came in the first.
And in a very good hitting spot right now. 2-0. He can look for his pitch right here.
Up and away for a strike. 2-2 now to Encarnación. Martinez gloves a nice hot shot back to the mound. 1 down.
Swing for the fences and save during the DIY Expert Sale. Only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center.
Chris Colabello will bat with 1 out. Colabello making his 5th start at first base. He grounded out to 3rd in the first inning.
A lot of options now, I think, for the Blue Jays with Devin Travis back in the lineup. You've got Colabello who can play first and left. You've got Smoke who can play first. You've got Edwin Encarnación who can play first and DH. Carrera can play all 3 outfield positions. Goins now can play anywhere you want him to. So this team is coming together.
There were a couple of injuries that really limited the options for John Gibbons. Of course, Reyes was out early, and that forced Devin Travis into the leadoff spot, and he did not fare well hitting top of the order. Then Bautista injured his arm, and that forced him into the DH role, so Edwin had to play first a lot. But now they've got a lot of options. They can mix and match and keep everybody fresh.
And everybody can swing the bat on this team. You know who the key is, I think, is Jose Reyes at the top of that lineup. You mentioned it, when Reyes went out, they just couldn't find a suitable replacement, a guy who can lead off. It really set the tone, set the table, if you will, for this offense.
Ground ball to short. Elvis Andrus throws out Colabello. Andrus has great range and a strong arm, but you can see he's learned a little bit about throwing. When he first came up, he came up as a 20-year-old. He threw everything, 100% every throw, and he had a lot of errors early in his career. He's committed 14 this year, and that's a high number.
He also got to work with Ron Washington when Ron Washington was the manager of the Texas Rangers. One of the finest infield instructors there are in baseball.
Russell Martin, he grounded out to Andrews in his first at bat. Two and 0 to the Blue Jays catcher. There's a high, deep drive to right. Chew on the track, looking up. Goodbye, home run. Russell Martin goes opposite field for his 11th home run of the season. Pat, you were right on the money. The ball was flying.
Oh, it's flying. We were down behind the batting cage today watching the Blue Jays take BP, and even the line drives that normally would make it to the outfield, they were going off the wall. A lot of balls in the second deck, third deck. This time Russell Martin takes it opposite field. And really, as soon as it left the bat, you knew that ball was gone.
Ezequiel Carrera, the left fielder.
Ball away. Don't try and pull it. Go with it. Just get it up in the air. And I think Russell knew he had no home run number 11.
Bouncing ball to the second baseman. Odor throws to Morton, and Carrera's retired. But the Blue Jays continue to keep the pressure on the Rangers. They've scored in each of their first 3 innings. Russell Martin with his home run number 11. Ball is away. He stays with it and drives it over the wall in right. 7-2 Blue Jays.
tonight, fans who received a seat upgrade. Meanwhile, over in the Blue Jays Care Community Clubhouse, we are here live. The Food Bank Canada people are behind us, and beside me are Leanne Loop and our good friend here, Jamie Delabar. And they are both here to help out with the food drive. And first we want to ask you, Leanne, just talk about the involvement that yourself and so many of the Blue Jays wives and girlfriends have done over the years. 31 years, it's pretty amazing.
It is. It's one of our longest standing charities, things that we donate to and we take part in. We go to North York Harvest Food Bank. We help them sort out food, see a little bit what they do. They tell us the background on it. We packaged actually about 800 pounds when we went just for an hour, and that serves about 30 families. And then we have our weekend where we come out for 3 games. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And right at the gates, about 2 hours before every game, you can donate any type of amount of money. You can get mystery bags, signed hats, signed baseballs. So come out and donate.
And Jamie, talk to the fans as that they're coming down, where they can go and just exactly what kind of foods they should bring with them.
Okay, anything that's donated needs to be a non-perishable canned food item. And we are set up at gates 3, 5, and 10. Come on out. We love seeing the fans.
Guys, the Lady Jays do a phenomenal job every year. This is their 31st year. Back to you, Buck.
Barry, thank you very much. And Pat and I, both of our wives, have participated in the Lady Jays food drive in the past. It's a great opportunity for the wives to get involved, and it's such a great charity.
And the biggest thing that you can win out of those grab bags, you saw it. A Buck Martinez.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Autographed hat.
Pat Tabler and Buck Martinez sat and signed a bunch of autographs for the Lady Jays food drive, and they're in those mystery bags, plus a lot of other interesting items. Mitch Moreland fouled it off the umpire, Angel Hernandez. It's 0-2. Beltre grounded out to short to start the inning. Burley, for his career, 13-5 against the Texas Rangers. This is his 22nd career start, his 25th game overall against Texas. Down and away. 1-2 now to the Rangers first baseman.
How to get him out right here. You're ahead 1-2. Moreland has been swinging a hot bat for the Texas Rangers. 344 against the Blue Jays.
Drives this one to left field. Carrera dives and knocks it down. Pilar's right there. What an effort by Carrera. And another outstanding play by Pilar to back him up. He came over to converge on the line drive, and because of Pilar's effort, Moreland has to stay at first on the single.
Yeah, a single for Moreland, but it should have been a double if not for a great effort by the outfielders. First Carrera to get to that ball and get glove on it. Burley thinks he has it caught, but then backing it up is Pilar. He's not just standing out there, a spectator watching that. He went over there, back it up, got it back into the infield. And now a ground ball can get Mark Burley out of this inning. Here's Pilar coming over, line drive, and it just knocks down right to Kevin.
Well, what a good play. And those are plays that don't turn up in the score sheet.
Nope.
Not in the box score, but it keeps the double play in order.
And now if Mark Burley gets the ground ball and gets out of this inning, you know who the first guy he's going to shake hands with is the left fielder.
1-2 to Elvis Andrews, the shortstop.
And then right behind him will be the center fielder for backing up that play.
Check swing foul. Andrews walked and scored the second Rangers run in the second. Andrews scored on a ground ball off the bat of Leonis Martin. Ground ball to second. Pushed him across. Burley thought he had strike 3.
So did I. Looked like the inside pitch. He's a little bit more liberal on the inside pitch, but that outside pitch where he went, you can see that number 5, he's not giving it to him.
He gives him that one. Burley strikes out Andrews and thought it was the 3rd out of the inning. Even the old veterans lose track of outs once in a while.
Yeah, he had the head down that time, and he was walking off, and he's like, where is everybody? Why aren't they following me? This is a cutter, and what a good job by Russell Martin to hold it there for the home plate umpire, and there it goes Mark Burley. Said, okay, I'm good, I'm done. He's still laughing.
Smile on his face about it. Ground ball. Reyes backhands it. He was deep and makes a nice throw over his shoulder to end the inning. Mark Burley always gets good support defensively because he pitches to contact. Pilar and Reyes both making fine plays here in the 4th.
Rogers Ignite Bundles. Find out how. Call 1-888-ROGERS-1 now. Hurry. Offer ends soon. Luck.
Thank you very much, Barry. And the Blue Jays, boy, they've gotten off to a fast start here tonight. 4 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and they lead it 7-2. Kevin Pilar started the second inning rally. He had leadoff double, his 14th double of the season. Ground ball. Beltre to his left. 4 gold gloves in his resume. Nevin Travis, after a great April when he was 3rd in the American League in RBIs. He was 4th in home runs. He had 6 home runs in April. And he was 5th in runs scored. He was named the American League Rookie Player of the Month. And he had a tremendous month. And then he got hit by a one-hop line drive out in shallow right field in Cleveland off the bat of Brandon Moss and created that problem with his shoulder.
Yeah, and he just wasn't right. He couldn't extend through the ball. You can see he was grimacing every single time he would swing the bat. He tried to play through it for about 2 weeks, and he just couldn't do it. He says, I'm healthy now. I feel good, pain-free. And remember, on top of that refresher that we just showed, at the end of April, he was the Blue Jay leader in home runs, RBIs, and batting average. He had the Triple Crown for the Blue Jays in the month of April.
When he came to the Blue Jays in that offseason deal from the Tigers, everybody expected him to be a good offensive player. And he has been. I think he has exceeded expectations defensively.
Yeah, that's where the big question mark was, right? Is he going to be a good enough defender to play in the big leagues? And we saw him in spring training, and we said, what's wrong with this guy? This guy can play.
Line drive. Welcome back, Devin Travis. He's had 2 good at-bats already tonight in his first game back.
Moved the runner his first time up by hitting a ball to the right side of the infield, and this time singles to center field.
Brian Goins, who replaced Devin Travis, has taken a seat on the bench, and he was acknowledging this great swing by Travis.
Yeah, that's the swing he just couldn't finish after he got hurt. You can see it's a one-handed finish for Devin, and he couldn't do it. The pain was too much. Now he comes back. They put him in the number 9 hole right here. Forget about him. Comes back, and it looks like he was the hitter he was in April.
Outside to Jose Reyes. Reyes batting for the 3rd time already, and we're just in the 4th inning. He has walked and grounded out. He was called safe on an infield hit in the 2nd inning. They went to review, and the call on the field was overturned. But he still picked up the RBI, his 24th. How long will it take Devin Travis to get back into the signs and all of those little subtleties of playing every day?
Knowing him, he's a pretty bright kid. I think he's okay. I think it'll just be fine. The biggest thing that you worry about when a player is coming back after being injured is making sure that his legs are strong. You never want to lose your legs if you're a baseball player. You've heard that before. If you lose your legs, you're probably done. So you play inning after inning after inning. You build that stamina back up. You build the strength back up so you can play day in and day out. Blue Jays do not have another off day until the All-Star game. I believe it's 17 straight days that they are playing. So John Gibbons is going to have to use his whole roster here so nobody gets fatigued.
2 balls and a strike to Reyes. This is popped back over the screen. Travis around the batting cage. Somebody asked him, "You didn't have an off day yesterday, did you?" He said, "No, I didn't deserve one." He said, "I've been out too long to have an off day." Upstairs, 3-2.
They might start that runner right here. Nick Martinez is a very good athlete. He's very quick to the plate, quick on his feet, fields his position well. So you might want to start the runner right here. Stay out of that double play.
There goes Travis. Ball 4 outside to Reyes. That's the 3rd walk issued by Martinez. And once again, the base on balls creating problems for him here in the 4th.
The team, the Texas pitching, coming into this game, they've had the most walks in the American League. It's been a tough problem for Jeff Bannister and Mike Maddox, the pitching coach for the Texas Rangers. Base on balls. There's no defense for him.
And then you factor in the defense committing 61 errors. I mean, it's just a terrible combination. You put base runners on, and then when you do get a ground ball, they kick it around. Martinez created the problem with his error in the 2nd inning. Tried to pick off play at second and threw it into center. Josh Donaldson is perfect so far tonight. Looked like a pretty good pitch on the inside corner.
Josh has got that batting average back up over 300 with his 2-for-2 effort tonight.
Just foul outside of 3rd. (7-2) Blue Jays. We're in the bottom of the 4th. This is the first of 7 home games before the Blue Jays head out on the road before the All-Star break. Line drive caught by Odor, and Travis is doubled up easily. So we played 4 innings. The Blue Jays have a 7-2 lead. Now it's time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zong.
Friends and family, and enjoy the game from the comfort of one of our party rooms situated in the Acura suite level. Your single game ticket includes hostess, food, and non-alcoholic beverages for $150 each. Receive your Canada Day party room ticket now before they're gone. Go to BlueJays.com for more information. Sounds like a good idea. Great way to spend Canada Day, Buck.
Canada Day is going to be a very festive event, as it always is. Martin bunts it, and Donaldson was looking for it. Josh Donaldson, boy, he is in on every play. He is heads up and recognizes that Martin is a threat.
Yeah, part of the way to play third base is anticipating. You can see how deep he is, and then he breaks as soon as Martin drops that barrel. You watch the barrel of that bat. If it starts to come down, he comes hard charging in from third base and makes the play. How about Burley getting out of the way of that throw?
This ball club is really coming together as a team, and now with Travis returning to his position at second. Defense has been good all season long, but Travis at second batting ninth is going to do a lot. This is the catcher, Robinson Chirinos. He hits it high and deep, but well foul. Burley is the master of that. It is 0-2.
Speed up the bat right there. You just sped the bat up for Robinson Chirinos. Now you can throw a changeup if you want to.
And Chirinos not quite set. Burley, he doesn't waste any time. He gets a sign and ready to throw. There's another drive down the left field line, hit deep and foul. Just hooked foul before it went out of the ballpark. And now he's got him set up for a changeup, doesn't he?
Down and away. He's pulled 2 balls sharply down the left field line, so he's out in front of those pitches. Now just take a little bit more off, make the ball go down and away. Probably get a ground ball to shortstop.
Ground ball to third. Donaldson throws across the diamond. 2 down.
The 2015 Honda Civic is Canada's best-selling car for 17 years in a row and the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Beautiful shot of Rogers Center from Center Island as the ferry is making its way toward the island. This is the leadoff man, Sin-Shu Chu. He struck out and grounded out. Ball on a strike. Well, he took a little bit more off of that curveball, got a bigger break, and Chu was fooled.
And the timing of that curveball, perfect. Throw him off a little bit.
Ground ball. Travis to his right, takes his time and throws Chu out. Lots of infield play behind Mark Burley in support. Donaldson with a good play on the bunt. Travis makes a nice play to end the inning.
Join us pregame outside Game 10 for inflatables, activities, and lots of fun. After the game, kids 14 and under can run the bases just like the pros. Go to BlueJays.com for tickets. Bye.
Junior Jays is Saturday, always very popular, and you can bet there'll be a big crowd on hand tomorrow, and the kids get to run the bases after the ball game. This is Jose Bautista. Jose leading things off. It'll be Bautista, Encarnación, and Colabello.
Changeup right there. 84 miles an hour, and Martinez gets the 2 strikes. He'll throw fewer changeups, more sliders. Looks like they're going with another change. And now 3-1. They're pitching away from the power hitters right now. They saw what they could do in that first inning. And Bautista, to his credit, is not going after those pitches just off the plate.
He takes yet another walk. 2 walks tonight for Bautista, and he just won't chase. Edwin Encarnación got the Blue Jays off and running with his at-bat in the first.
Looked like he was sitting on a breaking ball, and he got the breaking ball in the first inning with runners on base, and he hammers it over the 400 sign in center field. He will do that. He will look for certain pitches and certain counts and certain situations. When he gets them, he doesn't miss them.
You can see him still moving that left shoulder around. It's just not 100%. Pulled foul. Edwin, I mean, he's a real tough guy. He hangs in there, and he wants to be part of this ball club, be on the field every day, and that shoulder has just been bothering him. He's always trying to keep it loose, move it around, and then he'll take an awkward swing from time to time, and can see him grimace in pain.
You noticed that in Tampa on the ball that he fouled back. But you ask John Gibbons about it, and, oh, he's fine. He's in the lineup. That's the main thing. He's in the lineup. And it's on foul balls like that. You noticed on that last swing, he finished his swing with 2 hands on the bat. Never let go of it. I think when he gets fooled and that top hand comes off of the bat, that's where it puts a lot of pressure on that shoulder and he feels the pain.
Bautista walked to start the inning, second walk of the night. He has 55 walks now. That's the most in the American League. Chirinos dropped the ball, but it stayed right near him at home plate.
Looked like Jose bluffed a little bit, and that might have been why Chirinos stabbed at that ball.
Yeah, catchers will take a final glance at the base runner as that pitcher begins his delivery just to see if he breaks and gives you a little better opportunity should he steal. Way outside. Now it's 2-2. Colabello is on deck. He's grounded out twice tonight. There's another base hit for Encarnación. Sharp single to center. Bautista stops at second, and here come the Blue Jays again.
Relentless. They can start rallies anywhere. This one right now, a walk and a single, has set it up for Colabello. I wonder if that'll get that bullpen moving. Nick Martinez has done a good job. He's pitched 6 or more innings, allowing 2 or fewer runs in 9 of his 14 starts. So he's gone deep into games, and he's been successful. Tonight, though, the Blue Jays started hitting him early.
Well, Greg Zahn made a terrific point in the update from Blue Jays Central when he said that it's the first game of a series. You can't go to your bullpen in the first or second inning. You don't know what the next 2 games are going to bring. And because Martinez has pitched deep, they're going to leave him out there. Colabello drives it deep to center. Martin, the center fielder, off his glove. Bautista's going to score. Encarnación is headed right behind him. Here's the throw from Andrews, and it's in plenty of time as Encarnación is thrown out. Colabello ends up at third. Bautista scores the 8th Blue Jay run. Elvis Andrews has a strong arm. He made a good relay from the outfield behind shortstop. Bautista scores easily. Encarnación is out on the relay throw.
And out also is Mike Maddox, the pitching coach for the Texas Rangers, to go out there to talk to his starter. Pitch up in the strike zone, and Colabello hammers that ball to left field. That'll be a double off the glove of Martin, but he quickly recovers and gets the ball back in to Andrews, who's an outstanding shortstop with a very good arm. Bautista reads it off the glove of Martin, who gets up, throws it to Andrews, and right there you can see they were going to try and test the shortstop, and it's an easy out. Encarnación's out at the plate. Colabello moves up on the throw home. So it's another run for the Blue Jays and another runner on third base.
Colabello now has 28 RBIs. His first hit is a double to center field. He goes to third on the throw, and once again the infield is drawn in. Russell Martin homered in his last at bat. Two and 0. Eight-2 Blue Jays. Martin hits it high and deep to center. Colabello goes back to tag at third. The catch is made, and Colabello comes in. The Blue Jays scored their 9th run. Second RBI of the night for Russell Martin on a deep sacrifice fly to center field.
Tell you what, they're not all about sitting back and hitting home runs. They can play situational baseball if you need to. You can see Russell making the adjustment in his swing, just trying to get the ball in the air, look for something out up over the plate, adjust the swing so you can get the ball in the air and you pick up another RBI. It's 2 tonight.
Ezequiel Carrera takes pitch outside. That is Ross Detweiler, left-hander, loosening up for Texas. Ball on his strike to the Blue Jays left fielder. Carrera's 0 for 2. Ground ball. Andrews backhands, and that'll end the inning. But the Blue Jays add 2 more in the bottom of the 5th. Will move to the 6th, and here comes the Home Hardware cleanup crew, brought to you by Natura. Home Hardware's exclusive line of safe, environmentally friendly cleaning products. Jamie, thank you very much. And he is throwing a perfect game through 5 innings. And that also stretches the Nationals' streak of scoreless innings to 46 1/3. That's second all time. Boy, they are on a roll.
Yeah, we were wondering when those pitchers were going to step it up, and they've stepped it up.
They got Doug Fister back, and he was part of that scoreless streak. The Baltimore Orioles in 1974 have the record for longest shutout streaks by a starting rotation since '61. That's going to drop for Rua. So now Prince Fielder will come to the plate. Prince has homered here tonight, his 300th career home run, a milestone home run. And you look at fathers and sons, 300 or more home runs. Combination. There aren't many of them.
Bobby and Barry Bonds, that's 1, and Cecil and Prince Fielder, that is 2. That is it in Major League Baseball. But did you know, Buck, that Bonds and Fielders are 1 and 3 in combinations of father-son Major League home runs? Do you know who's number 2 who've hit the most home runs as a father-son combination? The Bonds hit 1,094, and now the Fielders have hit 619. This father-son combination had 782.
Griffey's?
The Griffeys.
Yep.
Wow, you are a baseball guy.
There aren't a whole lot of father-son combinations. You start talking 600 and 700 home runs.
That's right.
But Prince's father, Cecil, played with the Toronto Blue Jays for 4 years. Then he went to Detroit, and in 1990 at 51 home runs. So they also have something in common. They both had 50 home run seasons.
I remember seeing Prince when he was about 10 or 12 years old, hitting at Tiger Stadium when he would come out to the ballpark with his father. And he was hitting balls into the upper deck as a 12-year-old. I thought he was 18 at the time. I was like, you think he'll get drafted this year? He said he's only 12.
Yeah, he's going to go to Babe Ruth from Little League. But he's had a marvelous career, and once again, he is healthy. He had a tough season last year, had surgery on his neck. It's interesting how Fielder had snapped a long home run drought. He just had 1 home run in his previous 25 games, and he went deep in the first inning with 2 outs. But he's hitting for a high average. .245 as we speak. Adrian Beltre is on deck. He just back off the disabled list after spraining his thumb ligament. Full count to Fielder. Ground ball. Reyes will flip to Travis, back to first base in time. Well, Devin Travis got to the bag. He was playing fielder to pull, and Reyes was too far from second to go to the bag, but Travis really got to the bag quickly.
And there was a tricky hop right at the end to Reyes. Watch it one more time. Right to Jose. Bobbled it just for a little bit. Flips it to Travis. And then with that strong arm is able to finish off the double play. Just a little bit. And he takes out, tries to get taken out at second base.
Beltre into center field. Here comes Pilar, and he does it again. Kevin Pilar on a nightly basis makes another outstanding catch. He made a good play backing up Carrera in left field earlier in the game, and look at the effort and determination. Kevin Pilar takes a hit away from Adrian Beltre. He's been doing it all season long. Now he has taken his act to center field.
With the best broadcast team in the business, Jerry Howarth, Joe Siddle, and Mike Wilner on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. And the good news, guys, is Jerry Howarth is back at full speed, and he is back in the booth calling games like he should be. Buck?
Yeah, he sure is, and it's a welcome return as Devin Travis is back and Jerry Howarth is back at full speed in the radio booth. Kevin Pillar, and we've said this for years, every time a guy makes a good defensive play, it seems like he leads off.
Leads off the inning, gets the spotlight, gets to stay on him.
There's that good sinker. It's 0-2.
Said they didn't want to go around the baseball tonight on that sinker and that two-seamer that comes in. I got to stay inside that. He did that his first time up. He doubled and scored in the second inning.
One and two to Kevin Pillar. Ground ball to Hopper to Andrews. One down. Kevin Pillar's had a terrific season defensively, and when you look at the stat, defensive runs saved. Now this is in the majors. Pillar is third behind Kevin Kiermaier and Nolan Arenado, the third baseman of the Rockies. Kiermaier we just saw in Tampa Bay. He's their center fielder. But Pillar, 14 defensive runs saved.
Yeah, and we talked about that we're watching probably the two best center fielders, at least in the American League. No disrespect to Mike Trout. Mike Trout is a fantastic player as a defensive center fielder, but Kiermaier and Pillar, just all year long, it seems like they've been making great plays.
You know what's different about Mike Trout than both Kevin Pillar and Kevin Kiermaier is Trout plays deep. So he's going to be prone to make a lot of those catches up against the wall. This is a high fly ball to right. Devin Travis flies out to the right fielder. 2 down.
The 2015 Honda Civic is Canada's best-selling car for 17 years in a row and the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Number 29 jersey flying off the shelf. Devin Travis is back in the lineup, and the fans want to get their Blue Jays jersey. Jose Reyes has walked twice. He has scored a run and driven in a run. Nick Martinez, for the second time in his last 5 starts, he's allowed 7 or more earned runs, and there's another base hit. Reyes has his second hit of the night. He's been on base 4 times. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. "16 innings of perfect baseball and no-hit baseball for Max Scherzer comes to an end tonight."
And that's a Phillies team that's beaten up,
Yeah,
isn't
they
it?
are. Today it was announced that their manager Ryan Sandberg had resigned, and you have to think that that resignation was kind of the easy way out. 2.5 seasons basically for Sandberg at the helm of the Phillies, and it just wasn't working there. But that's not the only problem they have. They've got an older, aging ball club with big contracts,
and they can't get rid of those contracts, so they're going to have to play with them. And the farm system's just not giving them enough young players year in and year out to get back to where they were. So Rhino resigned today.
Boy, that's one thing you can never overlook is your farm system. You've got to make sure that you continue to produce position players and pitchers. Donaldson knew it. He drops the bat at home plate. He takes Strike 3. We'll go to the 7th. Mark Buehrle with a comfortable lead over Texas.
Deserve to be a starter at the All-Star game, and you still have a few days to get your votes in. Right now, he trails Mike Moustakas by about 33,000 votes, and that is not many. So get out and vote. You have 35 votes per email address. Go to BlueJays.com to submit your ballot. You've also got Jose Bautista, Russell Martin, Edwin Encarnación, all battling for starting spots as well. Buck?
Well, it's a great promotion the Blue Jays front office has put together. That rain poncho has vote Josh Donaldson on the back of it, and they're going to continue to give those out at the WestJet flight deck out there in center field, and you can see everybody has gotten into the spirit of things.
The Rainmaker. Very nice.
Mitch Moreland, the first baseman, leading off the 7th for Texas. Moreland has singled in his 2 at-bats. He had a line drive into the alley in left center. Ezequiel Carrera went and dove for it. It went off of his glove, and Pilar was standing right there to make the play behind him and kept Moreland to a single.
And he struck out Andrus, and then got a great play by Reyes to finish off the inning. And the first guy he congratulated when he came in was Carrera for a fine effort.
You know, it must be fun to play defense behind Mark Buehrle because he works quickly. You know there's going to be a lot of action. You'll get a lot of opportunities when you play in the field.
Lots of strikes, lots of contact. And you want to make those plays for him because he's such a pro.
Bouncing ball. Colabello comes in on the dirt. Steps on the bag, and Marlins retired.
I'll tell you what else Mark Buehrle has done tonight. He hasn't been as sharp as we have seen him so far in the month of June. I mean, he's been exceptionally sharp. Tonight, he's thrown a few more pitches. He hasn't been able to get outs as quickly as he has, but he's been battling them. If you ask him after the game tonight, he'll tell you he's been grinding tonight. It hasn't looked as easy as it has in the last few starts.
He throws a first pitch strike to Elvis Andrus, the shortstop. Buehrle, over his last 8 starts, has gone at least 6 innings in all 8 of those starts. Here comes Pilar again. He's not going to get this one. A little blooper falls in front of the center fielder, and Andrus is aboard for the 2nd time tonight. But Buehrle, Kevin Cash, the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays, called Buehrle the most valuable pitcher in baseball. He never misses a start. He'll give you 6, 7, 8 innings every time he goes to the mound. He saves the bullpen. And you just pencil in his name, say, okay, Buehrle's starting. Bullpen's going to get a little bit of a break tonight. And it's a welcome sight for managers when Mark Buehrle goes to the mound, because you know what he's going to give you. Yeah, it's not flashy. It won't lead the league in strikeouts, but he is there every day, and the bullpen just kicks back and watches him work.
Well, you can count on him. And you're right. The biggest thing is he's going to make a start. Time after time after time. There's his numbers against the Rangers. He's going to make a start for you. They're not scrambling around to try and find a starter because something happened to Mark Buehrle. He's going to be out there battling for you.
And Buehrle doesn't always feel 100%. There were a lot of starts during the course of his career where he was less than 100%, but this is his 476th consecutive start. And he's disgusted with himself for walking that batter, Ugnet Odor. Well, Texas has always been an offensive team. You go back to the 90s when they had all those great sluggers, but the last 5 games have not been pretty. They lost 2 in Chicago and then were swept at home by the Oakland Athletics. And you can see they haven't pitched well lately. They've only hit 240, averaging 3 runs a game.
Yeah, that's uncharacteristic of this team, hitting 189 with runners in scoring position. They've lost 5 in a row, yes, but they've only been outscored by 13 runs. They've been outscored 28-15 heading into tonight's game. So the games have been close. They just haven't been able to finish them off at times.
This is Leonis Martin, the center fielder. There's a curveball, another good one. Liam Hendricks starting to loosen up. We're in the 7th. Mark Buehrle with 1 out and 2 strikes on Martin. Boy, he just keeps you guessing, doesn't he? Martin walks back. That's 5 strikeouts now for Buehrle. 4 of them called strikes.
4 of them looking right there. Fastball away. Little cutter. Martin thinks it's down when it just catches the plate, and strike 3. And if you're John Gibbons, you're just, you're rooting for Buehrle to get through this inning right here. You want 7 innings from your starter, and then it's much more manageable for your bullpen.
Catcher Robinson Chirinos fouled off the first pitch. Well, we've heard that for years when pitching coaches talk about what they want from their starter. 21 outs. That's such a sweet number to a pitching coach and a manager. Give you 7 innings, and then you can patch it up from there. Bouncing ball to short. Reyes throws on the run in time. Mark Buehrle indeed is through 7 innings. He's held the Rangers to 2 runs on 5 hits. Ross Detwiler, the left-hander, partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Mark Burley has a 9-2 lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th, and he's enjoying a moment with Marco Estrada, and Burley may be out of the game after getting the final out in the top half of the 7th.
That is 9 straight for Mark Burley of 6+ innings for his starts. And you talk about a guy being consistent and helping out your manager, pitch deep into the ball game, and Mark does it again tonight.
New pitcher for the Rangers is Ross Detweiler. Detweiler is 29 years old. He came to the Rangers in a 3-player deal with the Washington Nationals last December.
He was the Washington Nationals #1 draft pick, 2007. Pretty good fastball. Stuff really moves. Hasn't moved enough, especially against the righties this season. They're hitting .370 against them.
Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, on the phone with the bullpen. Bautista may have hit it off the end of the bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jose has walked twice again tonight and scored both times he's walked. Full count. Encarnación is next. He is 2 for 3 so far tonight. Bautista pops it in the air in foul territory. Moreland, the first baseman, gets there and makes the catch. Now it's time for the drive of the game. It's brought to you by the 2015 Honda Civic, Canada's best-selling car for 17 years in a row, and the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
First inning, after a couple of walks and a single, Edwin Encarnación steps to the plate with the bases loaded, and for the 7th time in his career, hits one out. A grand slam home run to dead center field. The Blue Jays, 4 quick runs with 1 swing of the bat. Tonight's drive of the game.
It's only the 2nd grand slam the Blue Jays have hit this season. Devin Travis has the other grand slam. Oh my. High and deep to left. Home run. Encarnación, his 2nd of the night. There's the problems with the right-handed hitters.
Coming to fruition again for Ross Detweiler. 376 coming in. It looked like Edwin was sitting all over a fastball once again. When you see him starting to rock back on that back leg and recognizing pitches, you know a hot streak is coming.
It's hard to fathom how the Blue Jays could score any more runs than they have to this point. But Travis is back in the lineup. Encarnación and Bautista have been on base 5 times tonight.
Watch Encarnación rock back on that back leg, load up, gets a fastball out over the plate. Takes it out of here. That's 16 now for Encarnación.
He's creeping up. He's 1 behind Josh Donaldson for the team lead. Bautista's got 15. Encarnación has 16, and Donaldson has 17. I didn't know if there's a better trio of hitters in baseball than Donaldson, Bautista, and Encarnación.
Hey, all I know is I wouldn't want to pitch to him. My ERA is going up if I do.
Right at the bottom of the strike zone. That's the 20th multi-home run game for Encarnación, his 3rd this season. Colorado takes ball 4. You look at what the Blue Jays have done this season and look how much further ahead they are than the Yankees. They've scored, on average, 5.47 runs per game. No one else has scored 5 runs a game. The Yankees, Orioles, Rockies, and Athletics, top 5 in baseball, but the Blue Jays far and away the most potent offense in baseball.
3 of those teams, American League East teams.
Yeah, what was the talk in the spring? The American League least?
Yeah, and it's down? I don't think so. I don't think so. Those organizations are just too good.
Ball in the dirt. 10 runs again tonight for the Blue Jays. They lead it 10-2. That one bounced in front of home plate. You know what's interesting about this game tonight? Texas, coming into this game, had a 10-4 record against the American League East. And the Blue Jays are knocking them around.
That's pretty impressive. 10-4 against the East.
Outside to Russell Martin. Martin has a pair of RBIs tonight. He had a solo home run with 2 outs in the 3rd and a sacrifice fly in the 5th. Another walk. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. You look at the Tampa Bay Rays, they have Alex Colomé on the mound tonight. He gave him 7 innings of 1-hit ball last time out, but tonight Colomé has walked 5, and that has really created some problems for Tampa Bay. Rick Porcello was on the mound for the Red Sox, so just 1 run through 5 innings.
Talked about that's a tough combination to overcome, walks and base hits. Blue Jay batters have walked 6 times tonight. Now we're only in the 7th. They also have 10 hits.
Ezequiel Carrera. He's gone 0 for 3. Inside, a ball and a strike. Last year at this time, as the Blue Jays were headed toward the 1st of July, they were in first place. Now you get a sense that the momentum has been building as the season goes on. Obviously, it's not how you start, but it's how you finish.
Get hot. Remember the Baltimore Orioles last year? They were just kind of laying in the weeds for the first 3 months of the season, and then they took off. And they ended up winning the division. They had 96 W's. Blue Jays look like they might be taking a similar path. Get hot at the right time, and then just keep riding. Keep riding that wave.
Broken bat dribbler to 3rd. Beltre bare hands. Not in time. Carrera has a hit. Ezequiel Carrera, an infield base hit to 3rd base. Beltre bare-handed it.
I'll tell you, it's a slow turf, and he might have been better off just getting 1 out at 3rd base. This is a shattered bat. Watch this ball. It's doing all kind of crazy things. I don't think you're going to get Carrera, who runs too well down the first base line on that one.
I think Beltre was too far in front of the base path. The ball wouldn't hit that hard, and Colabella was hustling over to 3rd. So once again, the bases are loaded for the Blue Jays. Ball and the strike to Kevin Pillar. Pillar is 1 for 3 so far. Off the end of the bat. Andrews knocks it down. It squeaks by him, and Pillar has another hit. The run comes in. Colabello scores. It's 11-2.
An infield hit for the Blue Jays, number 12 on the night. Finding the holes and getting yourself RBIs. A couple of walks in the inning. This one tries to knock it down, but there wasn't going to be any play. Odor, the second baseman, did not go to the bag. So there was going to be no play at second. It's an infield hit for Pillar, another RBI.
Well, Devin Travis will bat with the bases loaded. He hit a grand slam home run back in April. Devin hit .325 in the month of April with 6 home runs.
That was the surprise, wasn't it? We thought he would be an okay hitter, but we didn't see the power coming. And he hit, Buck, about 3 or 4 balls off the top of the wall, too, in that month. That ended up being doubles.
He has 10 doubles, 7 homers, and 26 RBIs. And this is his first game since May 16th. I asked Devin if he'd ever been locked in the way he was in April. He said, maybe, but I've never had that kind of power. That's what really surprised everybody.
T-ball. That's the last time you were locked in like that, because he was hitting everything hard.
And bounces in front of the plate again.
He was talking before the game about having good at bats, and I think that's a key right there. Just having good at bats, and the hits will follow. If you're taking pitches properly and you're seeing the ball and you're recognizing pitches out of the hand of that pitcher, that all is part of having good at bats. And when you start doing that, the base hits are going to follow.
2-2 to Travis. He's called out. Travis with a glance back at the umpire, Angel Hernandez, who thought it was off the plate outside. Detweiler with his second out of the inning. This is Justin Smoke batting for Jose Reyes. And Pat, you had mentioned this opportunity might present itself with the Blue Jays out in front 11-2. They got a day game tomorrow. Reyes has been on base 4 times. A chance to give him a couple of innings off.
Yeah, and again, I think he's the key to the offense, the way he sets the table for the Blue Jays. So why not give him a couple of innings off, rest him up for tomorrow? I know they had an off day yesterday. It doesn't hurt.
Now you can see he's not complaining. Smoke hits it on the ground. Andrews takes his time across the diamond. The inning is over. But the Blue Jays scored 2 more runs. They have scored 10 or more runs 13 times this season. Mark Burley in line for the win. Liam Hendricks will come out of the Blue Jays bullpen. on as we speak. New pitcher into the ball game is the right-hander Liam Hendricks, making his 28th appearance of the season.
Liam last worked 4 days ago down at Tampa. Only threw 1/3 of an inning, gave up a couple of hits, had a strikeout in that game, so he is well rested. In 27 games this year, he's done well. 2-0, 276 earned run average, striking out a lot of batters. He's averaging 1 strikeout per 1 inning this season. Righties have not had a lot of fun against him. Lefties hitting 100 points higher than the right-hander. So Hendricks trying to finish this one off.
Justin Smoke stays in the game and takes over at first base. Chris Colabello is out of the game, and Ryan Goins will go into Colabello's spot in the lineup and play shortstop. Reyes gets the rest of the night off. Reyes was on base 4 times. He walked twice and singled once. He's on base 3 times, in the second inning. That infield hit was overturned. Leadoff man Shin-Soo Choo. He's gone 0 for 3 tonight. The Rangers have lost 5 straight. They lost the final 2 games in Chicago. They went home to play Oakland. Got swept by the Athletics. They've had a very good run on the road this year, the Rangers have. Playing on the road, 22-17. That's the most road wins in the American League. 1 more road win than Tampa Bay.
Pretty impressive. And they're on the road now, and they got a tough road trip. 7-game road trip, Toronto and Baltimore.
Jeff Bannister, in his first season, he spent 29 years in the Pirates organization. He got 1 at bat in the major leagues, and he never played in the field. He got 1 at bat, pinch hit for Doug Graybeck, and singled off Dan Petrie. Moonlight Graham.
1 at bat. So he's got a batting average of 1,000.
But he has been a long time minor league manager, been the bench coach in Pittsburgh for Clint Hurdle's Pirates. Two and two to the leadoff batter here in the 8th. Brian Rua, the left fielder, singled his last time up. Had a leadoff single in the 6th. He was erased on a double play. Hendricks has blossomed as a reliever. His fastball's gotten a little bit better. His confidence is sky high. And he now understands that it's going to be short stints. He doesn't have to pace himself as he did when he was a starter.
Pitched a little bit out of the bullpen when he was a winter ball. So you know what? I can empty the tank as a reliever.
Travis from the outfield takes his time in the dirt. Scooped by Justin Smoke. Smoke can really pick it at first, and Travis bounced it over to first, but it was not a problem for Smoke.
You know, that's why you put in your best defenders late in a ball game when you have a lead. 1 hopper to Devin Travis. Watch him set his feet to get the most on it, but it goes into dirt, but it's picked by Smoke, and he shows the umpire. Go down and get this one, stay down. Picks it right before Chu gets the bag. Nice play.
It looked like Chu missed the bag, like he stepped just short of first base and then drug his toe over the top of the bag, but it was a moot point as he was out. This is the left fielder, Ryan Rua. Chu is 0 for 4 with 3 ground ball outs. We're in the 8th. It's all Blue Jays, 11-2. Brewer came up with the Rangers last year at the end of the season, and he had a good finish to his season.
Get your glove. That's what it looks like when it's coming at you.
I've seen that before. And Russell Martin wanted that ball in the dirt, and Hendricks obliged. Wanted to make sure he got that breaking ball down. Thought he might get a chase from the hitter. Upstairs, but inside. Burley in line for his 8th win of the season. Drops his ERA to 3.81, down from 3.90 at the start of this game.
He'd been battling all year to get that under 4, hasn't he?
Well, and the month of June has been very good for Mark Burley. He's got a 175 earned run average in the month of June. And Pete Walker, the pitching coach, he appreciates the value of Mark Burley. The ability to go out there and give you 7 innings, and Burley's done it now. 9 straight starts, 6 or more innings. Brewer couldn't lay off that hot heater. 2 down.
Swing for the fences and save during the DIY Expert Sale. Only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center.
The Rogers Center, as dusk is settling in on Toronto. Beautiful evening here. It's 22 degrees at the start of play. Fielder goes down the left field line, and he is headed for second. Prince Fielder has used the whole field this year, and boy, oh boy, has that average benefited from it.
344 coming into this game. Prince Fielder has been on fire.
He's had a little trouble lately running the bases, and he trips over the bag at third and then looks into the seats. Where's that sniper?
Well, it didn't happen just one time. Here's one at first base back in Texas yesterday, and one more time tripped over the bag.
He has some fun with it. This is Adrian Beltre. Fielder is 2 for 4. He has homered and doubled. This is Hanser Alberto batting for Beltre in this blowout game.
I'll tell you what, I did that. Fell down around the bases. I did it on a home run.
Did you really?
I didn't hit it. I was on first base, and Joe Carter smoked one into the gap, and I'm like, I'm scoring. And I came around second base, hit the bag, fell flat on my face, and laid there, and Joe was right behind me. I said, get up. Get up. It's a 2-run homer. I can jog.
Donaldson at third takes the high hop. Just in time. Alberto out to end the inning. Hendricks through the 8th. Now it's time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zong.
Analysis and schedule. Visit sportsnet.ca/Blue Jays or join the conversation at Sportsnet. And if you go to sportsnet.ca tonight, guys, you can read about Miguel Castro, who's come off the DL, and he did play in A-ball tonight, and he had a pretty good night, had a couple of strikeouts, and I heard he was up to 99 miles per hour, so that is very good news for him.
How about this? Adam Rosales' first ever Major League pitching appearance. And he throws the first pitch in there. We don't have a scouting report on Rosales as a pitcher. He's a super utility player. We've seen a lot of this year, Pat, in blowout games, especially in game ones of series. Mike Maddox not wanting to go any deeper into his bullpen.
And I don't disagree with this right here. You know what? You want to save your bullpen. At Rosales, he'll just come over and just throw batting practice. Try to keep the ball down and hope they hit it at somebody.
Of course, I was part of a 5-inning position player game when I was with the Brewers. Sal Bander, the third baseman, came in from third base, and he pitched 3 complete innings. And then Jim Gander pitched an inning, and I pitched the 8th. This is Danny Valencia batting for Jose Bautista.
So you pitched the 8th inning? You were losing, I assume, so you didn't get the save. Okay, so.
Yeah, we were losing big time. Danny Valencia takes Adam Rosales deep. A pinch hit home run for Valencia. And he's kind of take it with a grain of salt. Valencia, his 4th home run of the season, comes off a position player, but he'll take it. That's the 4th home run for the Blue Jays tonight.
I mean, again, you know he's just going to throw BP fastballs right there, so get ready to swing.
Look at the bench doesn't even want to congratulate him.
That one doesn't count, does it?
Edwin Encarnación hits it high. This one on the warning track. He almost hit his 3rd. He hit 2 home runs tonight. A grand slam in the 1st. A solo shot in the 7th. (12-2) Blue Jays. Ryan Goins getting his first at bat. He came in defensively in the 8th inning and took over at shortstop. Well, this is the last thing you want to do, is make an out against a position player. You'll hear about it for days.
It happens, right?
Goins hits it high and deep but foul into the seats down the right field line.
We saw that smile from Rosales to Encarnación. They were teammates together in Cincinnati in 2009. So you throw one to your buddy, your ex-teammate there, and he almost goes deep.
Now, Jeff Francoeur, the Phillies, pitched 2 innings this year. And that was just another chapter in a disappointing season for Philadelphia. Goins grounds it to 3rd. Alberto throws him out. So we are through 8 innings. We'll go to the 9th. The Blue Jay bats have been singing all night long. Rosales has a souvenir, his first inning of Major League pitching. Rob Rasmussen will make his first appearance of the season.
come to town. 4 games with the American League East Boston Red Sox. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Of course, Wednesday is Canada Day, a 1:07 start. That one is sold out, but tickets available for the other 3 games. Go to BlueJays.com for more. And the Blue Jays hoping to get a little bit of wind out of Boston this weekend as they take on the Tampa Bay Rays. They are currently tied 3-3 in the bottom of the 7th at Tropicana Field. But
that'll be a big series for the Blue Jays, their final series before the All-Star break here at home. This is Rob Rasmussen, the left-hander, taking over after Hendricks had a perfect 8th inning, 3 up, 3 down.
Good numbers in the minor leagues for Rasmussen, 4-1 with a 293 earned run average. Danny Valencia takes over in left field, pushing Ezequiel Carrera over to right field. Rasmussen gets a chance in this ballgame. This is his first appearance since he was recalled 4 days ago from AAA.
He appeared in 21 games with Buffalo, including 1 start. He was recalled on the 22nd of June. Had a good ERA in AAA, 2.93.
Got into 10 games with the Blue Jays last season. This is his first stint back with the big club.
That goes off of Goins and goes into left field off the bat of Mitch Moreland.
It'll be a base hit. Fastball, do-or-die play for Goins at shortstop, as Moreland has a multi-hit game.
Moreland is out of the game. Joey Gallo is pinch running. Elvis Andrus has singled, walked, and scored a run. He is 1 for 2. There's a drive to left field. Danny Valencia right at the wall makes the catch. Danny Valencia came into the game as pinch hitter and homered. This is the second baseman, Ruben Odor. The Blue Jays have a 12-2 lead. They actually trailed 1-0 going to the bottom of the first, and then Edwin Encarnación hit his first of 2 home runs. His 7th career grand slam, and the Blue Jays were off and running.
What a night for Encarnación. 3 hits, 5 RBIs, couple of runs scored. Quick turnaround. Back at it tomorrow.
Prince Fielder has homered and doubled. And there's a good breaking ball from Rasmus. Odor strikes out. Rangers down to their final out.
Breaking ball, 2 strikes. Ruben Odor swings over the top of it. So after a single, fly out, now a strikeout, and he gets to face another left-hander, Martin.
This will be the Blue Jays' 17th win in the month of June. It'll be 17-6. It's the best winning percentage in June in the major leagues. St. Louis is second, 15-7. This is also the best winning percentage June in franchise history. In '93, they went 19-9. Still got 4 games left. High pop down the left field line. Donaldson with a long run, but it is into the seats, out of play.
I don't care what the score is, what inning it is, that guy's playing the game of baseball. He dove into the seats. Obviously, that gave him Tampa Bay that we saw the other day. And now it's 12-2 with 2 outs in the 9th inning. This guy's on a dead sprint down the left field line.
25,821 in attendance. And that's the final out of the game. Blue Jays win the opener 12-2. They improve to 17.